Hey everyone! I hope you're seeing this. This is my first time doing this one. I'm just trying to wait to get Gabby in here. Hi Trisha! Hi Julie! While we're waiting for Gabby, I would just like to complain that the video that I'm seeing myself stream on and the chat room window is not the same screen, which is stupid. Who thought that up? There's like a group chat on my side, but it's not, you guys can't type in it, which is stupid. So hopefully Gabby will be joining us soon. So she kind of has a run-in with her Mac computer, and she has been shush, Matt. She has been having trouble with her camera, so she's actually having to hop onto Kevin's camera on his laptop to make it work. So hopefully she'll be joining us soon. Hi, Rhiannon! Okay, I'm gonna try sending the email again.
It should be working. There we go.
Yay, good.
Are we live?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Trisha, you're gonna have to do it off of memory then.
Wait, group. Oh, I'm not seeing any of the chats.
I know, because the thing is not real smart and it doesn't come up with on the same screen, so you have to pull up on a separate screen, which is stupid.
Oh, wait, where's the separate screen?
Like, pull it up through YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And then you can, what I did is I like did a pop-out chat and I just have my screen split between our video and the chat window.
Okay. Oh, no. I don't know what's going on.
Dude, Gabby's theme song.
All right. Okay, so Hannah, we have to go to yours, yes. Right? Okay.
Yes, and mute yourself.
Okay. No, and mute it. Okay, we're muted. Ah, there we go. I see. And you did pop out chat. Okay. It's crazy how much you forget something in like one month. You know?
1 month, yeah.
Okay. Ah.
Okay, so we are here to discuss The Glass Spare by Lauren DeStefano. And I am terrible, and I just finished it like a few hours ago because
Me
I
too.
procrastinate so
Me too. I probably finished it like at 6 my time.
bad. So I guess my overall rating, I'll start there, is a 3 out of 5 stars.
That's what I was.
I,
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Rhiannon, for coming in for a little bit, even though you haven't read the book. So I liked the book. It just wasn't like outstanding for me. And I actually looked up after I finished it, thinking this was like her first ever book,
Me
and
too.
it was not.
I was thinking, I was like, okay, maybe this is her first book written. I'll give her some slack. And yeah.
Did anybody else feel like that? Like I looked and she's got like 10 books. So I was really surprised with that because once the book started flowing, I thought that it was good, but the first like character interactions were not so great.
See, I actually liked the beginning. I felt like the ending was rushed.
So we're offset. So I was reading the comments on the last post for our Goodreads group, and it looks like Trisha and Julie had the same thing, is that uh, Trisha liked the ending and I liked the ending, and you guys both liked the beginning better.
Yeah.
So my problem with it is the first of all, Loom is a stupid name. I it like made it very jarring when I read that, and I was like, "What is this?" Like the rest of the names I was fine with, but I could not get over Loom. That bothered me so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I kept thinking of like a sewing thing. Isn't there like something with sewing that has to do? Yeah. What's
I
it
think so.
called?
Like the hook of the
Yeah. Yeah. So.
okay. So the whole thing is the whole Loom and oh, I totally forgot the main girl's name. Oh, Will. Loom and Will's relationship dynamic was so clumsy for me, and I didn't care for it in the beginning because I don't like insta love. And it felt like it was trying to be insta love and slow burn at the same time. And I'm like, what is this? And so after reading the entire book, it's clearly a slow burn because they don't kiss until like 400 pages. But it was just not that. There's no meat behind why he was interested in her. Like all of a sudden he was just like enamored by her, and I was, where the heck did that come from?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I guess she kind of like tries to make up for it by saying that it's like the curse that's bringing them together. But
That's such an excuse. That's like, I know my writing was weak at the beginning, we're just gonna throw this in here. And I was like, okay.
I know, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think I ended up giving like a 3.75.
Are you guys all going to continue on with the series?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I will. I think I will.
I'm like just hooked enough to figure out, like, because I want to know who put the curse on her, and I'll get into that a little bit later about who I think put the curse on her. But with I don't know if I'll continue because it's like that's the only part that's hanging on. So it's like if there wasn't that little tidbit, I wouldn't have liked it enough to continue. I
Right.
wonder how many books this is gonna be.
Yeah, I think I might try the second one, and because I mean, books can change so drastically in a series. I feel like the ideas there, like I feel like it was lacking a lot of world building, but the idea of it is there. Like she discussed like the southern and the northern and then the eastern. So I feel like we can get a lot more. But yeah, so the idea is there. So I might try book 2 and then see if I like it.
I'm with Trisha on this. I don't know necessarily if they're worth buying, but I think I'll probably check out the second one.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Does
So
anyone?
what did you like about the front of the book versus the back of the book then? Since we're opposites on this.
Oh, okay. So at the beginning, I kind of liked that it was a little slower paced. And I like the relationship between, I kind of wish we would have gotten more relationship between Will and her brothers. But I did like how we're not necessarily told exactly like the brothers' characters. It's like as like we learn about their character development and like their intent as like through their interaction. So I kind of like that. You know, like we don't really know much about Baron until she has interactions with Baron. Like I didn't even know he had a brother and like she had another brother, you know? So I really liked that. But I felt like the ending was just so rushed. It's like the first third, it was just kind of slower paced, and then the middle third, it was like all damsel in distress. Like, how many times did she have near-death experiences? Like, she gets stabbed, then she almost drowns, then she gets stabbed again, then she gets taken hostage. You know, I'm like, okay,
I
enough of
totally am
that.
with you with this. I was like, at the end of the book, every other chapter was like a mini cliffhanger, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, yeah. And then finally at the end, it's like, oh, you were cursed at birth and he was cursed and that's why he can touch you, kind of. I don't know. Oh, I'm getting feedback from your video. Am I lagging?
Do you mean as in like sound feedback?
I'm not sure. Yes, sound. Like I'm lagging in my sound? Hmm. Oh, there's an echo? Shoot.
That's odd.
An echo.
Gabby's
Maybe
having
no.
some computer difficulties.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. My desktop isn't the video is not wanting to work, so I have to use my laptop, so I'm wondering if that's echoing.
I don't know why though, because I'm using a laptop and I'm not echoing.
Am I muted?
Are you muted on your second video?
I should be. What do you mean my second video?
Like when you pull up to the
Yeah,
chat window, you have to pull up the YouTube one. That one's muted.
yeah, it's muted.
Hmm.
Sorry.
In both windows.
Sounds like I'm standing near the ocean. Oh, it's my fan on my computer. It's picking up.
Seriously?
Yeah, yeah, it's my computer. Crud.
We're sorry, guys. Hopefully it'll be better next time.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's my laptop.
So, what do you think about the curse of it being at the end? How they threw it in with the whole attraction thing. So, how many cursed people in the world are there?
It sounds like not very many. It sounds like it's kind of a very abnormal thing.
I thought that was so weird that they threw that in there, and I didn't like that it invalidated them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like who cares why you care about each other as long as you care about each other. I don't know.
Right?
That's
Like, that didn't make it any less real.
no, like when she's saying it's not real, it's the curse that's making you like him. And I'm like, but you still like him. Like,
I
obviously,
agree with Julie. It was way too convenient for her to throw that in there.
yeah, it was a little bit of a cop out, I feel like.
I think she just wanted to put in there and have like that push-pull relationship between those two, and that was the only way that they had it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that that's the reason he can touch her, or at least I'm assuming. I don't know if if it was like stated blatantly that that's why her powers has no effect on him because he's also cursed.
I have a side note question that
Yeah.
I'm dying to find out because do you guys think the king is dead?
Oh, it never specified.
No, he like it talks about it. It says like Baron's like he'll be dead by morning, but they never did it. And have seen Star Wars now twice in theaters, and the rule of Star Wars is if you don't see him die, he's not dead. And that's what I took into consideration with this is we didn't actually see him die. They
Yeah,
don't talk about the mourning period. They don't talk anything about that at all. Like that's the last we hear from Baron is he'll be dead by morning.
yeah. I don't think he's dead.
I just thought that was so random that they just like stopped talking about it and like forgot about it. Hopefully
Probably,
that was intentional.
yeah, going into book 2, I'm assuming.
Well, because it talks about how like crazy his actions are that are like because of them bombing their world, and it's like I was under the assumption that might have been Baron because that was such like an outlandish thing, but it doesn't actually say that the king was dead.
Yeah.
And don't you think like everybody would know the king was dead because
Yeah.
here Loom, who's on a boat and knows about the princess and the prince being dead. So, what do you guys think is like the reason behind the bombings and everything all of a sudden?
Trisha, that's a good point.
Yeah, that might be.
Yeah,
I still feel like we barely know Baron.
I know, right? He's seeing
And
ghosts that aren't actually dead.
what? That's so confusing because I'm like, she's not even dead. How are you seeing ghosts of her,
I know.
supposedly?
I mean, he just must be going crazy. He must be like, there must be something going on.
I I'm interested to see where they're going to take with Baron because we barely know anything about him. The ghost thing is weird. And
Yeah.
I think that Baron cursed his sister before she was born. I think he's the one who put the curse on her.
That's an interesting theory.
Because he hates her. And, like, obviously, you knew that she was pregnant before she had the baby. So I think Baron's real messed up and that he is,
But
like, cursed her.
how old would he have been? Do we
That
know
I don't know. Because Baron is the one right is no, he's above
it was Owen, Baron, Gertie, and then Will.
Will.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Wasn't he still little?
I don't know. That's like the only person I could think of who would want to curse her
I think
and
it's
who
the
like
king.
hates her so much.
I think it's the king that cursed her. I
Why?
I don't know. I think the king was probably wanting something like, I don't know. Maybe he didn't want a third child or a fourth child, so maybe he like poisoned the queen while she was pregnant. I don't know, this is like a crazy theory.
I don't think that he would risk hurting the queen because he like
Yeah.
that's the only person he actually loves. Maybe it's because like Gertie was sick with the gray fever and he didn't want another child to be weak like Gertie.
But she was already born when he got sick. Because remember, she took care of him.
Yeah. Does it talk about her when he first gets sick, or I just kind of assumed that he was always sick?
No, I think he got sick. He was like sick for 2 years or something like that. But she would like take care of him. I don't know. And she was. Oh, good theory.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I do too. So you think maybe the queen maybe went to like Do you think the queen went to Pan? Do you think like Pan know? Well, I don't know.
I'm gonna be real annoyed if the queen went to Pan and Pan's like, go back to your mom, or like, like go back to your kingdom to find out where this came from. Like,
Mom, yeah.
that's way too puppeteery for me. That is just gonna be, yeah, gonna be annoyed by that character if that's what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so why did you not like the beginning and then you like the
I
end?
just I just thought the beginning was kind of slower paced and it was kind of boring that like I don't know, it moved too slow and we didn't really get full development of characters and I don't know, it just didn't like the pacing. Like it moved fast when you read it, but the pacing didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, the pacing was really I don't know. I liked the pacing at first. It was interesting. It read either really, really quickly or it read like slow. Like there were times where I was reading, you know, a page less than a minute. It was taking me less than a minute to read a page, and then there were some times where it was taking me longer.
The whole catalyst of this is of her almost dying. I totally am on the same page with Trisha that the whole thing of her almost dying, like what set this whole thing off? Because the under the premise that she was about to die, that was her first premise. If she's supposed to be a spy, don't you think she would have been in near death experiences way before this time in her life?
But I think she never actually got to the point where she actually almost died.
How is that possible? Like you
Like
don't
blacking
start off
out.
being an awesome assassin.
Yeah, I don't know, because she was like actually blacking out, like she was being suffocated when her powers came out. And I think I don't know. Yes.
Yes, I totally agree with that. See, like she has had traumatic stuff happen. So I just like why is this one fight the one that's gonna like spur this out of nowhere? And it like yes, she was like blacking out, but it was not like they didn't feel that intense. And it was I don't know, it just didn't
Maybe there'll be more explanations in the second book.
I don't know. I feel like the time was now to explain her powers, and it just was like,
Yeah. Maybe, but
and
maybe
it's
we'll find out more because she herself doesn't really know why. So maybe when she finds out who did it, she'll find out why all of a sudden it showed.
I don't know. Like, and
That'd
it's
be
all based
good.
on adrenaline. So it's not like near death experiences isn't the only way to have adrenaline rushes. So I just don't know. I don't know. I don't buy into it.
Yeah. Have you ever watched The Hulk?
Yes.
Okay, so I just kept thinking about him wearing that watch and like monitoring his heartbeat, his heart rate, and like I had to be under, otherwise he'll Hulk out. That's what I kept thinking about that. I was like, she needs to be monitoring her heart rate so that she doesn't like turning things to gems.
So I agree with Julie. Like that's going to be the main thing. Is like I'm reading it to understand it more, and it's like I'm hooked just because I want answers because I didn't fully get what I wanted out of the first book. That's not like because I'm in love with the story.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, there have been stories where the first book was weaker than, and then the story takes off, so who knows?
I think it's promising because of how it ended for me, and I think when she wrote it, she had an idea of where she wanted to end up, and she just didn't know how to get there.
Yeah,
And I think that's why the beginning was so weak for me, is because she didn't know how to make the interactions natural to each other, like the character interactions from first meeting. So all of that was like kind of cringy that this is how this is starting, and it was very, very unstable start there.
yeah, yeah. Does
But
anyone have,
it flowed much better throughout the end of it.
yeah, yeah. Does anyone have anything to add? A question? Thinking of pulling up the Goodreads thread.
We can talk about the whole steampunk aspect of it. Her goggles seemed really cool
Yes.
in the book, but that was like pretty much it.
Yeah, yeah. I mentioned in one of the threads, if anyone's read the Leviathan series by Scott Westerfeld, that is very steampunk and it is so good. So if you like steampunks, I definitely recommend that book.
So Trisha says, can we talk about the king and baron being undeveloped?
Yeah.
100%. So I guess I already kind of touched on the baron being undeveloped, because we still don't really know what the heck is going on with him. Like, the whole ghost thing is weird. The whole, like, really hating her for no reason besides her. But here's the thing. Why does he hate her particularly so much? Like, he would be the next in line for the throne, so what threat is she that he would hate her so much?
Yeah.
I don't understand that part. I understand, like, him not liking his siblings, fine, but it's like, it's not like she was going to take anything from him besides that her mom liked her. And it sounds like her mom loved all of her children, so.
That's another thing. I didn't understand the king's, like, I didn't understand his character. How could he be so mean to his kids, but not, like, we didn't see any of that. I kind of wish we would have seen more of that than, like, Will just explaining it, like some of the things that he's done, because he seems to really love the queen. The queen seems to really love him. But then how come all of this, I don't know, how is he so cruel but not?
He has like a soft spot for the queen, and they talked about having a soft spot for Owen because he was going to be the heir, and he like was his successor. But it sounds like he didn't really care about the rest of them.
I don't know. And then is the queen just like totally oblivious to what the king's doing?
Right? Like, how would she be okay with? Because they were saying in the book, like, only she would be able to question him and things like that. Like, why didn't she be like, what the hell are you doing to my children?
I know, right?
I guess maybe we're supposed to take into assumption that it's the time period that they're in. So it's like, fine if they marry him off to several different people trying to find a good match and things like that, maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, I was hoping at least by the end of the book we'd have a little bit more understanding about at least the king, because we keep talking about or hearing about how awful he is, and Owen kept saying like, you don't know him like I do, but we never got to see that side of him, and it would have been nice to have seen. I mean, you know, of course we saw it a little bit when he told her to leave or he'd kill her if she ever came back, but that's really all we got. And then yeah, we didn't really get too much more of like how evil he is.
This is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I kind of get it. Like, if you think about it as in like a grief thing, like, he just witnessed his one child killing his favorite child. And so I get that he's like, leave, like, I don't want to do, like, I will kill you if you come back type of thing. I understand that because that's his grief talking. And he obviously still holds a grudge against this girl who almost killed his wife, and who he like holds above everybody else. So I get the animosity a little bit that he holds for her, and that he now watched her kill someone else she loved. And I guess they talk about superstition, so he could be superstitious with her. I kind of get all of that, but it doesn't show him being a bad king. It just shows him being a bad dad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I don't get it. I feel there's so many unanswered questions. Yeah, I don't know. She keeps saying like whenever time her and Loon discuss, you know, why he wants to kill his dad and how the king of the Southern Isle, what is it, the Southern was
Yeah.
so bad. She keeps saying like she understands, but we never really got too much about that.
That's the thing that I really liked about this author is she does do a lot of showing, and I liked that we
Yeah.
got flashbacks, and I really liked that that was the way that she showed the characters instead of just telling. So I really liked that part, and I liked when Zay, is that her name?
Mhm.
Zay and Will are talking, and then Will is asking about Loom, and that's the way that they like got into his past a little bit too. Like I liked that aspect, but I wish they would have done that for her because we don't know anything about her upbringing.
Yeah, I agree. I love the scene where one of my favorite scenes with like the whole telling and not or showing but not telling is when Gertie finds out that Will and Owen are dead, and he comes in and the queen is dying, or like she's crying and she's just really grieving, and then Baron, what he just like smiles, like kind of like has like this evil smile on his face. So it just shows how power hungry he is, and just like I feel like just that little scene alone, we got to see so much of his character.
And I
Like
don't
who
understand
smiles
why
after their
he's
siblings
so
die? What?
what?
I was like, who smiles after their siblings die?
Someone who's really messed up. Like I think that there's something seriously wrong with him that we'll find out soon.
Yeah.
But I think like I don't understand him being power hungry because he was never in line to take over for the throne. He was just another spare as well, so I don't understand where that came from either.
That's true. That's true. Maybe
See, this
he's
is
so
another
mad
instance,
because he's like so close, like the second. But see, here's
maybe.
what also like I feel like they shouldn't they have, I mean, it sounds like in this time period a lot of people die with like, they don't have a lot of medicine, and a lot of kids end up having a lot of illnesses, like Gertie got the gray fever. What I don't understand is why, in case something ever did happen to Owen, why wasn't the next son kind of, you know,
Trained.
exactly. You think like all the kids, I mean, I guess all the kids kind of are, but I guess it was never in their mind that something would happen to Owen. Like they always thought Owen, I guess, would produce an heir before. But I wish that was kind of, I don't know. And like if Owen died before he's king, but he had a son, would his son be next in line, or would it be Baron?
I don't know.
Because he's still a prince. And his wife is, I guess, a princess. So would their son be the next heir, or would it be Baron?
I think it would probably be the child.
Child? Okay. I don't know.
At least I would assume so, anyways. I liked the Queen's OCD aspects. I didn't quite get why that was valid in the story. I didn't really love that they tied that in with superstitions because that's weird that they would. I just think that that was not handled quite properly with mental health being tied in with superstitions. And I know it's in Own Voices, so that's nice. But I liked that it was in there, but I don't think that it made sense in the story.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I think Baron would totally try to kill the son.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Well, I like how she was trying to put a little bit of like her mental illness into her book.
I get where she's coming from, but I just yeah, it has to make sense in the story to put it in. If it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense, it just is like an afterthought and then it feels weird.
I don't like how it makes her seem, I don't know. It just,
It makes her seem crazy and like invalidates her because they say like I'm gonna try to do everything to stop her idiosyncrasies with OCD, and it's like that's another thing with the OCD is great with representation. I will give you that. It's nice to see that in there, but to put it with superstitions, not so great. Then to invalidate that it's an actual illness and that they're like trying to like shove it off into a corner. There's not any like proper part of it that's like you're not taking care of her. And that's the whole thing was like, I think an Own Voices should have been able to shed light on like this is what you should do with an OCD person, and said she put like all of the wrong things in there, and I thought that was so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. Like back then, mental illness was, I mean, people were not cared for with
Then
mental
again,
illness.
what time period is this? We
That's
never
true.
know what time period it is. We just assume that it's in the past because they're in like horse and buggy stuff, but then they've got, with the steampunk aspect, they've got like the goggles that are futuristic. So it's kind of like a,
It's interesting.
yeah, see.
Yeah, it is interesting. I would have liked to see maybe more steampunk element.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because we just got one. That's pretty
yeah,
much it. Unless I missed something.
yeah. It would have been nice to have seen a little bit more. I feel
And the
like,
goggles were cool, but it's like, what purpose did they really add into the story?
yeah, it gave me more of a sci-fi vibe than
Oh,
steampunk.
the motorized boat.
Mm, yeah. And then there's like that dome of electricity that they were talking about. I don't know. Yeah, they're talking about how like the city in the south or in the southern area, it like runs on like this dome of electricity. I don't know. I didn't understand it. Anyone else understand it?
I agree. So Trish was talking about like the special bombs and stuff in the alchemy that they were working with. I just didn't, it didn't mesh right with me. Yeah, telephones were rare. And maybe I just, because I haven't read a lot of steampunk, it might, like, that might be because I'm not used to that, but it didn't make sense,
Mm.
all of those different things, and that there was still, it was odd to me.
Yeah, I didn't honestly. I didn't pick it up until someone mentioned it in Goodreads. It was like, I like the steampunk, and I'm like, really? I hadn't caught on yet.
I really liked the goggles, but I felt like that was like the main thing that they kept bringing up, is that this was like futuristic when they were still in using carts and buggies, and
I
it's,
thought that was cool. I thought the goggles were really cool too.
I also thought it was weird that they were developing all of this warfare that was like specialized and used the alchemy and things like that. But then they reference back to the king doesn't want these advances. And I'm like, he's using it already. It's in his house. His son is building this. Like, what?
I
Where did
think,
that come from at all?
yeah, I think he probably just wants the rest of like the country to just be helpless.
But the rest of the country is already using it. Like, they're talking about like, well, they have cars over here, and he's like, she's like, yeah, my, or the king doesn't want those advances, like we don't even have roads and things like that. And it's like, so you're literally just keeping yourself in the dark ages when everybody else around you and your enemies have these advances. And I was so confused with that, yet he's making these specialized bombs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then what is it they're calling those that can do magic? No, oh, it's just an M.
Marvelers.
Yes, right? Yeah, like 6 days by boat to get to. Was it 6 days by boat to get from north to south? Like, that seems kind
Yeah,
of
this is like real tiny.
by ship. I like that. I feel like that seems kind of short. 6 days by ship.
And it sounded like when they visited these other areas that it was completely different from the other areas. So that part is what threw me, is that the Southern Isles were totally different than the Northern
Yeah,
Arod or whatever, and that there was two totally different communities going on, but they were like super close. I don't know how that happens.
yeah. Unfortunately, there's no map. Yeah, I just checked. There's no map in the book. I like when fantasy books have a map in it because you need something to reference since it's a fantasy land.
I agree. It's easier to picture.
Yeah, for sure.
Trisha also talked about in the Goodreads group about picturing the lands and trying to get a feel of it. And I kind of agree with that, is that I wasn't quite on board with what I was seeing in my head.
Oh no.
Sorry, Julie, we're ruining it for you.
We should try. Okay, let's talk about the things we did like.
So I liked the relationship between Zay and Loom.
I
And
did.
I liked that it was they were married, and I like that like little hiccup in the whole thing.
I did too. I love Gertie and Will's relationship.
I agree. He was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
am like secretly hoping that something happens to Baron and he will be king.
Me too. Yeah, and I actually really liked Will's character. I felt like she was very strong. I really liked her.
See, I want a book from Zay's point of view because I'm like, she's a badass woman who is like, the only thing that I don't like about Zay is that she's like letting some guy use her, and she's like, no, it's fine, and he's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But I like her. She's really strong, and she's like kick butt.
Yeah, it's interesting because I really like Loon's character too. I feel like I like them all separate. Like there are points where I really like Loon's character as well, where he's like, look, don't give me grief about who I like because here's all the reasons why you shouldn't, and he like puts her in her place, and I like
Yeah.
that.
We got very little of Loom's sister, and I'm very intrigued by her because they talk about how terrible she is, and I got that. Like you could see definitely parts of that,
Yes,
but I also
and I
really
love
liked.
that. And like
I
the
really
like the really short time that we saw her, we got to see how like terrible she is. So I'm like, why aren't we seeing that more with the king? We got an entire 300 pages with the king.
And I think she did that really well because like during the execution, she was like showing how vicious and how like truly evil she really was. But I really liked that we got to see both sides to her, like down in the dungeons. We got to see her like take off kind of like the queen mask and kind of was, hey, this is a girl that's like my age, like type of thing. And I really liked that we saw the balance there.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie.
I haven't either.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So yeah, I liked her character. I hope we definitely see more of her.
I
Uh,
think we definitely will because she's definitely, I think, uh, not a character that's going to go quietly.
yeah, no, I really like her a lot. I think I'm wondering if this is so. Okay, I talked about this in our last review in November, but like I just keep comparing to Throne of Glass. I can't not. It's so bad. But like I'm wondering if like Loom's sister, we can get another like Manon. I don't know.
I don't know. I
No,
think,
probably not as badass.
yeah. And I love Manon. I don't think I'm gonna love the. What's her sister's name? Does it even Ray? What's her sister's name?
Espen?
Oh yeah, the poison root thing.
Yes. Espel. Espel.
That's such the names. Why? Like I get it's fantasy, but come on.
Yeah. The names are a little like so
Nothing as bad as Loom. I will not let that go. Loom is terrible.
it's interesting because you have Owen, who it seems
Right.
like a really normal name. And then
And Will, like Wilhelmina, is normal name too.
yeah, and then you get well, Gertie, I feel like it's more of a I don't know, Gertrude, right? Isn't that more of a is that his real
Yeah.
name? Baron doesn't seem I don't know, I don't know if I've read any books with Baron, but yeah. Aw, Mina. I like that.
I agree.
I like that. But yeah, the names were a little interesting. At least we could pronounce them.
Can we just say, like, how funny it would be if Baron was barren and he couldn't produce an heir, and so Gertie ended up having, like, the person next to, like, I don't know if the series is going to go that far, but that would have been so funny. Hi!
Yeah, I was thinking that too, actually.
I still hate, I can tell that Baron is going to be such a big character,
Yeah.
and I could tell that from the beginning when they first introduced him. See, Baron is Baron, that would be hilarious. But I still feel like we barely know him, and it really bothers me. Like, the king, I've already kind of accepted we're not going to know anything about, and they're killing him off. So I'm kind of, like, okay with not knowing anything about him, like, fine. Maybe we'll get more flashbacks or something to her past that Loom and Will can connect on. But I just, how can you have a villain and barely know anything about it? Like, let's dissect all the villains. We know nothing about them.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Yeah. It's an interesting, like, character or, like, trope, like the evil king. You see it in so much fantasy that it's hard because so many books. Kale and Rowan.
Don't even go there.
No! I love Rowan.
Same.
Oh my gosh, I love Rowan so much.
I think Baron is way worse than either one of those two.
Oh
like,
my gosh, and like Kale, I love Kale now. Oh yeah, so the trope of, like, the evil king, we see that so much, that, and so many books really execute it very well, that sometimes, you have to execute it well.
yeah.
It's a very common trope. Right. It's a very common trope, which I love. I love the evil king trope. Which is what, like, drew me so much to this book.
Who else do we think would put the curse on Wilhelmina? I already put in my vote for Baron because I want to hate him and I want him to have more meat to his story, and so that's what I'm hoping that will be.
I love the idea that it's the mom or the king. I think it was the king.
I think we're also could be very potential, be like thrown for a loop, and it's going to be like some random person we haven't met yet too.
Yeah.
Like another king, because everybody hates the North. Well, and we don't know why everybody hates the North. Very true.
Oh, sorry. We didn't even think about that. Okay. All right. Okay.
But what else, who else would be cursing her?
Okay, so someone just said, I've always thought the evil twin trope was very popular in daytime TV soap operas. That's just my opinion.
But who would be her evil twin? Like,
yeah.
Also, so wait, it can't be her evil twin because it was put on her before she was born. So,
right. So I think someone could have been cursing the queen. And she just happens to have, like, it's like a side effect. I don't know.
But who would go after the queen? Like, she doesn't have the title, like, I mean, she technically has a title, but she doesn't have the reins.
Julie says, what if Loom's dad put the curse like he wanted to curse his enemies? Interesting. So, like, he put the curse on, he had Pan put the curse on Loom, so maybe he had Pan put the curse on the daughter of the Northern King or something.
But again, why would he care? There's already an heir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think all of this would have been made way more sense if she would have been the first person in line, and then the curse would make sense. Then her getting exiled would be a bigger deal because then the person below would have, like, there would have been way more motive if she was the one to inherit things, but she wasn't. So why bother with her?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't see, I feel like Pan has more and is more involved because he keeps saying, like, well, what if it's not a curse? What if it's a gift?
I think we have not seen the end of him, and I think he's going to be a way more complex character. And as much as I hate the whole puppeteer aspect of it, I think that will make it interesting
I do too.
because all of the villains we have nothing on, except I think like that's a good potential of a villain to grow from him.
Yeah.
It makes me really think of
Once upon a
Once Upon a Time. Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin. I totally see that being what's going on here.
Yeah, I got that vibe too. I thought it was interesting how like Peter Pan. So it's interesting theory, definitely. I didn't take a lot of notes for this book. Did you take a lot of notes? Is there anything that we haven't really discussed?
We kind of touched on everything that I have written down. What did you guys think of the whole, is it Ada, like the little boys?
Yeah, he was cute. I'm interested to see where he's gonna come into play.
Because like I like that he's in there, but he doesn't really have like he's just kind of there. And as terrible as this is gonna sound, he's kind of like a pet that they have together. He doesn't have a lot of characteristics. He's cute. He's good there for like comic relief, but it's not like anywhere vital to the story.
Will Hill
Yeah.
someone wrote Will Hildel is the new Selena.
No, I don't think that she's like to that level yet. I think like we are gonna get something maybe could get better with that, but I just think the writing has to be way more developed to be at Sarah J. Maas level.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, and I agree with Trisha that she didn't like the scene when Will tries to escape and then Ada's on the boat.
So why did you dislike that part?
And going back to Will being the new Selena, I think she could get there. I think she could become pretty powerful. That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's so much this potential in this book. There really is potential. I like the idea of it. I like where it's going, and it could go really well.
I agree with that. I think it's got good potential, but I don't think that they're near that level.
Yeah.
So Trisha wrote, I think that was Ada's only purpose. Is that why that's why she didn't like that scene? I That's the only part about Will's character that I didn't like was she had so many inconsistencies. Like I just wanted her to stick to her guns and I wanted her to be like, "Okay, I'm going to fight my way out of hell." But then she like waffled and turned back around like she like threw him over the boat and she was like, "God damn it, I got to get him out of the boat or get him back in the boat." And I'm just like, "Stick to one thing." Like I didn't like
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah. She was very like back and forth. But I mean, I guess she's like trying to be ruthless, but I feel like that's not really her character.
Yeah, which is so odd because if she's supposed to be a spy and she was like grown up and trained to be this spy, you think that that would have been way more entwined in her character
Yeah.
already. That like that would have been natural for her is to like be like screw people, I'm not getting attached, and then like why would she be so attached to these characters? Why wouldn't she be like, no, I'm running away. I'm gonna find what I need to do to get this done. Like I just wanted her to have more of a fight for herself and she was just like going along with the plan.
Yeah. I hope Ada will not end up like Cersei Lannister or Dolores Umbridge.
Wait, in what way? I'm not caught up with Game of Thrones, so
Not either. I don't really watch Game of Thrones. Should have left Ada at the nearest port. See, she was thinking
Trisha is ruthless.
right? But see, like, I just think it's really interesting with Will's character because, like, even when people are holding her and trying to capture her, she's still like, I can't touch them or they'll die. See, for me, I'd be like it's you or me, and it's not gonna be me.
I kind of liked that she had that like conscious on her that she was like afraid to touch the guards when they were coming after her. But honestly, like they are trying to kill you. I'm totally in your same boat that I'd be like, screw you, man. Like, you came, like, you already saw what I did and you're still coming after me. This is on you now. Like,
yeah. And like, you know, like self-defense 101, never get taken to a different location.
yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't understand that. I mean, I like that it shows that complexity of her character, how she doesn't want to kill. It really bothers her. But oh, okay. Speaking of her powers, can we just talk about how a little cliche it is that all of a sudden her, like, she's next to Loom and she's having all these feels and the grass turns to gold?
And the fact that she talked about that stupid, like, they brought up that Gold King story several times. I was getting real sick of that story. And I knew, like, I saw that a mile away that she was gonna, like, turn shit to gold. Like,
Just like tattooed foreshadowing.
right? It was just, and what significance is that besides the tying back to the story? Like, who cares? You're making things rubies and diamonds and emeralds. Who cares if it's gold now? Like, why is that significant?
I don't know. I guess it's just trying to show how, like, Loom's character, I don't know, like the two of them together, that's what I'm seeing. Like the two of them together, her power is just gonna really grow.
But now we won't know because she's separating from them.
Yeah. I hate that. That is like, I mean, it happens in so many fantasy books. I hate the whole separation. Because now I'm feeling the second book, we're going to end up having like Loom's side of the story, and then we're going to go back to Will, and then it's going to keep going back and forth. And I hate that. I don't like spoilers, but I think Will should choose between Owen and Gertie in the sequel if it does happen.
I don't think you've read the whole book.
What do you mean, Owen and you mean Loom and Gertie?
I hope that so Trisha says different emotions create different things, and I think that would be cool.
Yeah. Well, I think they talk about that, don't they? Like when Gertie is trying to figure out like her powers, like if she's feeling anger, she creates rubies.
I did not catch up on that.
Yeah. Did anyone catch up on that? When they're like in Gertie's office and they're trying to, okay, Loom and Gertie. Yeah, I could see that. That's interesting. Yeah, I could see that because they're like from two different sides. So Gertie's gonna be like, no, come with me, and then Loom's gonna be, come with me, or the three of them can join forces. I like that. I like when like opposite join forces.
I don't see Gertie being like, you can't trust these people because Will talks about like maybe me and Gertie would have ran away if Baron was king.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have like ties necessarily that they're like super attached to their kingdom like Loom is. So I don't see it in Gertie's character to be like, you can't be with him. He's a southerner.
Maybe. Or Loom and Gertie become good friends. I think that'd be good. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can find, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find but
I agree, Trisha says, I hope Will saves Gertie from Baron being king.
Oh.
Take him away from the kingdom. Yeah, because you know that he's just going to be underneath his thumb if he's stuck there. I didn't catch up the emotions create different things. I thought it was like she was turning rubies into things because they had blood. Am I way off there?
I didn't catch that. And like grass is green, so it was emerald.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Okay. She was fascinated to discover that some of the red leaves became rubies when she was especially out of breath from her run, but other times they were garnet when she was beginning to calm down. And when she allowed herself to consider the man she had killed, she realized that she had seen him through a sheen of terror and violence, red like rage, not just her own against her, but her rage against him as well. The grass had become blazed with emeralds. So I think her emotions, I think, is what she changes the Yeah. Mm. So she concluded three things. The power came when her heart was racing. It affected living things. It did not affect things that were dying or already dead, which is like the same as the first one. But I think it's saying that, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's saying that depending on her moods, it depends on what.
See, we need a key. Like, love means gold, and you know, like this is what this is gonna create. Because she doesn't do a very good job of explaining it if we're this confused after reading the whole book.
Yeah. Yeah. But I did like, okay, so did anyone read the Shatter Me series? Because everyone kept talking about Shatter Me compared to this one. I hadn't read the Shatter Me series. Hannah, I know you read like book 1 and 2.
I've only read book 1. I
Oh.
didn't love it. I have book 2. It's up there.
Is it really similar to the Glass Sphere, or is it kind of like?
Well, she has her power is like the whole touch thing is like her touch is lethal, and that's like the same thing with the turning people into gemstones and killing them. And Warner in Shatter Me is also immune to
I read
her touch.
there. Julie said.
So Warner is also immune to Juliet's touch, and same with Loom.
Okay.
But that's as much as I know.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining.
And the fever. I don't know. It's been a while, and I didn't love it. I'm gonna push myself because people say it gets better, and people like love that series.
Yeah,
but
love that series. So
I don't know if I think I just didn't love the writing style.
Adam and Loom. I don't know who Adam is. I think that's another. But isn't in Shatter Me there's a love triangle, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm really glad there's no love triangle in this one.
Yet.
Oh God, we're on book 1. If there's a love triangle in book 2.
We've got a lot of like tropey things in here.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's so many classic young adult tropes in this book and so many other books have done it really well with the whole so it's I don't know. I want to live up to.
I really would love to see Zay like Loom tell like Zay's lover off for like not being a part of it. I just want to see him get mad and like hurt him defending her. Like I would love to see that. Also, I would love to see Zay find some love in this and like have like a real father figure for Ada besides Loom and that whole dynamic.
No, that'd be so bad.
Wait, what?
Gertie and Zay.
No, that would be bad.
No, that'd be so bad.
But how cute would that like whole like collection of moments be is like them having to like work, but they're married, but them having relationships with them, but then all be an awesome team. Like I want that.
Yeah. I mean, I love when different teams join forces. I really do. So I don't know. I think I will read the second book. I'm interested to see where it's gonna go.
I don't have high hopes for the second book, but I definitely will read the second book.
It could be really good.
It could be good, or it could just keep going, like getting bad.
Yeah.
Depends on how tropey it gets.
Yes, or on how good the tropes are, if they're, good or bad. But definitely. Do we want to mention our next book?
Yes, yeah. So we've decided that we wanted to do a contemporary because Trisha had recommended contemporaries and everybody kind of dialed in on that and said that contemporaries would be good. So our next book, which I actually don't have.
I don't have it either.
Because I did not want to go to my work on my day off. Which was, so the one that we're going to be doing is The Chaos of Standing Still. I'm not sure who the author is.
But, I feel like we need to know that.
But Trisha had showed it to me a while ago because she thought that was going to come in the Owl Crate. And I kind of wish it would have came in the Owl Crate because I was not overly thrilled about the book that came in the Owl Crate. But Chaos is Trisha's Trisha's at work on her day off.
White, but no. That's the Chaos of Stars. The Chaos of Standing Still.
So the Chaos of Standing Still is about a book, or is about characters getting trapped in an airport overnight, and I think like that's just a fun. I think that'll be really cute and fun because, at least for me, I always wanted to do like a lock-in at my high school, and I feel like it's like a lock-in at the airport, and I think it would be fun.
Woo. Okay, this is what it looks like. The Chaos of Standing Still by Jessica Brody.
Cool.
So it looks really good. It looks, the main character, she's grieving from her best friend's death. And the day that she's stuck in the airport is the anniversary of her best friend's death. So it sounds really interesting. And then she meets a guy and they end up swapping phones or something. There's like a text message from her best friend before she died. I don't know. It sounds really good. I'm not.
It does. It sounds really cute.
I don't read a lot of contemporary, and when I do, it's usually adult because young adult contemporary kind of annoys me. But this one looks good.
It should be interesting because I quite like it contemporary, but I think we really need a 5-star read, guys.
I know. We're like 2 for 2.
I know. And I honestly am not, I don't have high hopes for the Chaos of Standing Still either. Like, I don't think it's going to be like a 5-star read. I think it'll be cute.
I know. When is the next Sarah J. Maas book coming out?
So, with that being said, please fill out, like, on the Goodreads page of where... We don't have snow here either, Julie. It's okay. In Oregon, anyways.
No. I live in Texas. We don't get snow.
So, on the list on Goodreads, please put your suggestions of what books you guys would like to read, because we need some suggestions, and we would love you guys to be just as excited about the reads that we pick as we are. Also, don't be afraid to put out some, like, really popular series, because I haven't read a lot of, like, you know, like, widely talked about books on BookTube, so... I would be okay with like doing an older book that's really popular just so we can have a 5-star read maybe.
I know, like the Book Thief was one really popular. I've never read the Book Thief.
I haven't either, so that's an option.
Yeah, that's another one that we have.
I also really want to read Leigh Bardugo's books this year.
Yes!
But I think that we need to read, like, you have to read the trilogy before we get to what is it? Six of Crows.
Yeah.
So
Hannah, I know you're reading what's it called? Mortal Instruments, right? Are you on the 5th one?
I'm on City of Lost Souls.
Me too. Okay. What about we should do maybe start the Dark Artifices? That's the new series. Lady Midnight.
Oh, like Lady Midnight?
Yeah, we can maybe do that.
I haven't read the Infernal Devices series though.
Never mind.
So it might be a bit, because that's like 4 more books I have to get through.
Yeah. We could do the very last one, City of Heavenly Fire. Is that weird to do a last book in a series? City of Heavenly Fire?
It depends on if the rest of the people have. Yeah, see, Trisha hasn't read any Cassandra Clare.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, Trisha, by the way, okay, the next Sarah J. Maas book, you have until then to catch up.
That's so many books for her to read to catch up.
It's okay. It goes by quickly. They're so good. They're so good. I think she's got until October. You're good.
You're fine. It's no problem, right?
Yeah, just read a couple. You know, you've got probably like 2,000 pages to read.
Jesus. What do you guys think of? I know that The Cruel Prince is coming out by Holly Black. I'm really excited for that one, so that could be a good option we could do. Also, the Susan Dennard book. So, Truth Witch is the first book. Sight Witch actually is coming out soon, and it's actually a prequel, so we could do that one. I don't know how I feel about it being a prequel, but there's that option.
I forgot so much in that book. I feel like I need to go back and reread Windwitch.
I didn't love Windwitch.
What?
Windwitch was whiny for me.
Yeah,
I'm not putting myself through rereading that.
and I just skim it. I know, Hannah, you've already read Ready Player One, but that comes out the movie comes back out in March.
You just need to read that.
You know.
Like, that would have been good if I wouldn't have read it, because like there was a lot to talk about in that, but
Really? Oh man.
Trisha says, I'm so stoked for Cruel Prince, all in caps.
What's Cruel Prince? I haven't heard of that one.
It's by Holly Black. So I think that you have read The Darkest Part of the Forest, haven't you? Or you own it?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Did you like her writing?
I didn't like
No?
her writing.
Gabby, you're killing me.
I liked her writing. No, I do like Holly Black's writing a lot.
Okay.
I didn't like. And is Cruel Prince the sequel to The Darkest Part of the Forest?
No, that's just her most recent book besides this, I think.
Yeah. I actually put it. I DNF'd it.
No, I haven't looked at it. Crap.
I need to finish. Okay, maybe I'll pick it back up. Darkest Part of the Forest. I did like I halfway through I was like, me. Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at. So this is actually a series. The Cruel Prince is going to be a series, and I just had it.
The Cruel Prince is my guess for January's Owl Crate. I could be wrong.
So I'm going to read the synopsis. Of course, I want to be like them. They're beautiful as blades forged in some divine fire. They will live forever. And Cardinal is even more beautiful than the rest. I hate him more than all the others. I hate him so much that sometimes when I look at him, I can hardly breathe. Jude was 7 years old when her parents were murdered, and she and her two sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of Fairy.
I love fairies.
Yes.
I love me some fairies.
10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, despite her mortality. But many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Cardinal, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, she must defy him and face the consequences. In doing so, she becomes embroiled in palace intrigues and deceptions, discovering her own capacity for bloodshed. But as civil war threatens to drown the courts of Fairy in violence, Jude will need to risk her life in a dangerous alliance to save her sisters and Fairy itself.
That sounds really good.
Yes.
Do we want to change our January pick?
What do you guys think? Would you guys be more interested in? Well, when does that actually come out? What day? It's early. I think it's like the 6th. Oh, January 2nd.
Oh yeah, it is coming out really soon.
So do we want to do another fantasy book, or do we want to do a contemporary? What do you guys think? Because I would be okay with either.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm kind of more towards fantasy, just because I don't really read contemporary, but I could do contemporary. We need a 5-star book, guys.
Guys, you're not helping. Everybody said that they're okay with either. We need some decisive people in here.
Well, okay, if The Cruel Prince is in the January Owl Crate, when does that come out?
The Owl Crate, it is on like the 17th or the 20th or something.
So then maybe we should do it for February if it is in the Owl Crate. That way people aren't buying 2 books. Like you don't want 2 copies.
Yeah. Okay, so what if we do The Chaos of Standing Still for January, and then The Cruel Prince will be for the February. Granted, shouldn't it be flopped because February, like romance and stuff?
Oh yeah, I'm not a huge romance fan. So does Owl Crate? I thought when they do their books, are the books already released?
It comes out like that month.
So some
Usually.
people may have pre-ordered it already.
Yeah.
In January and again. Oh, okay. Well, Prince might be a better pick for a 5-star. Yeah, possibly.
And I am buying the book right away, whatever we're choosing, because I'm not waiting till the last minute like I did the past 2 months.
I know. I have a 20% off on Barnes & Noble, so I need to use that to go get The Chaos of Standing Still.
Okay, so
it has like 3 stars on Goodreads. I will tell you that.
what, The Chaos of Standing Still?
Yeah. Let's see. It's a 3.76 average star rating.
No,
Right?
Okay. I know me and Trisha are both Owl Crate people. So, Julie, do you have Owl Crate? Are you guys okay with reading or getting a book that you may be getting another copy of?
I mean, I would hate for you guys to have to buy. I mean, books are expensive. But we don't even know if that's the book that's coming out in Owl Crate.
True. Okay. So is everybody okay with doing...
Hannah, you have Hazelwood, don't you?
Yeah, I've got an arc of it.
Is it good?
I haven't read it yet. I'm so behind on all my stuff. It's not even kidding me.
That's true. I mean, if we do our live show later on, people have plenty of time to read it.
Oh, like wait to buy the book?
Yeah.
Until they get their Owl Crate to decide?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just go for that
You already pre-ordered it. Okay, cool. So let's do Cruel Prince then. That sounds good.
Okay.
We want to do that?
And then maybe we can do a contemporary for February.
Yeah, maybe there'll be like a good contemporary coming out in February. Like
there is.
Rainbow Rowell just came out with one, but I don't understand if it's like a collection of books.
I think it's short stories.
Short stories, okay.
All right, so we made a decision. Cruel Prince is for January.
Okay, sounds good. I'm excited.
I'm really excited because I love fairies as well.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And we'll have to do the Hazelwood too at some point because everyone's talking about that one.
I know, but I'm a little worried that it's going to be like overhyped and then not going to be as good.
What about the new Casey West? I saw.
What's that?
Is that an author, Casey West?
Nothing is showing up on Goodreads for Casey West.
Yeah. Oh, it's a contemporary. What's it called? Luckily in Love.
Oh, that's that. Oh, where is it? This thing. This came in the Owl Crate.
Wow.
My latest book is Lucky in Love. This novel's about a girl who wins a lottery and learns that money can't always buy happiness. Plus, there's a love story, of course. If you know my books, you know I have to include a kissing scene or 3. It's my favorite part. I love writing about love. I love reading about love. I really believe that love makes the world a better place.
So out of 4,000 ratings, it's a 3.49.
This seems real cheesy, and I don't really care for lottery stories.
It does.
We'll figure out the love. We'll figure out the contemporary later. But at least we have Trisha. So I don't know if that ugh was to the book or if that ugh was to us not liking the book.
Yeah, is that to the book or is that to us? The Folk of the Air, #1 by Holly Black. The Cruel Prince. Ooh, I like the cover.
Yes, the cover looks awesome.
A 4.39 out of 700 ratings. I guess people who like the art.
Trisha says, never mind, I take it back. Not that book. I'm glad we're on the same page with how cheesy that sounds.
Okay, so I'm looking at The Cruel Prince on Goodreads, and it looks like Victoria Aveyard gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Marie Lu, which I absolutely love, she wrote the Legend series. She gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I'm trying to see. Everyone seems to have given it a 5 out of 5 stars. Karina from Owl Crate gave it a 5 out of 5 stars.
Feel free to like shoot me down with this, but I like adult contemporaries, and I really like I literally have an entire shelf of like cooking themed adult contemporaries because I think they're really cute. Would you guys be okay with something like that? Does that interest you, or do you want to stick with YA?
I also really like adult romance, like not like 50 Shades of Grey adult romance, but like
you don't want erotica.
like Nora Roberts.
What do you guys think? Would you be okay with adult romance? Or do you want to stick with YA themes?
Trisha says erotica.
No, Trisha. We are not going down that road.
This is PG-13.
Oh my god, can you imagine a live show?
Oh god. There are videos on YouTube of like people reading certain chapters of that book. And like the thing is like you have to read a page without laughing, and people are like unable to do it.
No.
Year One by Nora Roberts. Ooh. Have you read it?
I have not. I gave my arc away because I didn't think I was gonna get to it. It's a dystopian, it's not a romance.
Oh.
Guys, we're trying to find a romance one for February.
That
it's like a post-apocalyptic dystopian series.
But Nora Roberts is a romance author. That's interesting.
She's branching out. She's got like 50 books. It's insane.
That's so much. She writes so much. It's ridiculous.
Julie, are you not a fan of romance?
Not for everyone. At least we do know one thing. We'll never do horror.
Yeah, that's true. I'm like,
I'm the biggest.
I don't know. We might be adventurous and try it around like Halloween.
Oh girl, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. No. Kevin's gonna be really angry if you make me read the horror.
We have to have all the lights on in the house.
Like a month. He's not gonna sleep for a month. Okay.
Well, we'll figure that out.
Yeah. Okay, so The Cruel Prince. I like that. It sounds really good.
And leave suggestions on that Goodreads thread of what we can do.
Yeah. I like that. It just, I don't know. Because I'm like reading the back of The Glass Spare, and Beth Revis, who's one of my favorite authors, said that it was a really, really good book.
Trisha suggested Simon versus Homo sapiens, and the movie is coming out. Love, Simon, and this does look really cute, and I haven't read it yet.
Didn't Hot Mess Book Club just do it?
Yeah, like a couple months ago, and I was supposed to read it. That's why I bought the book, and then I completely missed the live show, and I was like, well, oh well. I didn't read it anyways.
The movie is coming out. I love the guy who they're picking as the movie, too.
When is Love, Simon coming out anyways? Submit now.
The movie, I'm not sure, but it's the guy who played in Jurassic World and Everything.
Yeah.
I really
March
like.
16th. So if we read it in February, that wouldn't be too bad.
It comes out when? Sorry.
March 16th. So
Okay.
that would work out pretty well.
Yeah,
Let's do this one for February.
we can do that.
Cool.
That one.
So we have 2 books now that I've for sure picked out, and I actually own this one, and it's pretty short, so I can't procrastinate to the very last day.
I think that one has like a really Simon versus.
Yeah, it's a way loved like, and the second one is coming out this year too, which is like.
Oh, it's a second. Okay, good. I'm excited because especially if the movie's coming out too. Cool. We'll do Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. It has almost 5 stars on Goodreads out of 75,000 ratings.
Yeah. So if we don't like this, we're good.
Yeah, if we don't like it, then there's something wrong with us.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for joining us for our Leah on the Offbeat. Sorry, that was a little sidetracked there. That's the second one. That one actually looks good, and I wanted to read that one, but obviously I have to read this one first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoot, Gentleman's Guide.
Oh, Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. The second one is a lady's guide to petticoats and piracy.
Yes. When does that one come out?
I don't know, but I'm highly, highly waiting for that one to come out. Hold on. I should have it down here somewhere. October 2nd, so we have a while.
Oh, it's too far out. Never mind.
Thank you guys for joining us for our live show, and we will see you guys next month. And I will look forward to talking to you guys in the Goodreads. What was that, Gabby?
Do we want to pick a date for next month really quick, or we'll do that later?
Are you guys cool with sticking to Saturdays?
I have the 27th off of Saturday. It's the last Saturday in January. I have off.
Okay, I'll request it off then. Oh, well, that's okay. I've got family coming in that like last week.
That's fine.
So, well,
Okay.
I mean, it might be a little loud for my live stream because my little niece is coming in.
We can rearrange.
We'll get back to y'all, and I will figure out when my family's coming in.
Yeah.
And we'll update you on the Goodreads, so stay tuned with that.
Bye.
Bye, guys.